Hello traders, and welcome to the Friday wrap-up, which is brought to you every Friday after the New York close. Traders, it is September 19, 2014. It's great to be with you. Remember, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, it's a overcast day today, so I might hit the beach later on, see how it goes. But the weather is nice and cool. I gotta be honest with you, it's nice to get a little cool weather instead of baking down every day. Alright, let me introduce myself to you really quickly. My name is William Gilday, and I am your moderator for the Friday wrap-up, which is done every single Friday after the New York close. And also every single day we have the market opening preview, which is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading, every day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in 2006 and 2008. I retired from a wonderful 27-year career in the fire rescue department out of the great state of Florida. Traders, I got on a big airplane and came over to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. And traders, today I'm still here having a great time. Traders, I trade the Forex market every single day. Doesn't mean I'm in a trade every day, but I'm in the markets every day. I'm watching, I'm listening, and I'm searching, looking for those pips. All right, traders. This is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, mostly important is please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. And always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, traders. We have probably about 15 charts to look at. They're all daily charts, as we always do on our Friday wrap-up, but just a couple quick words before we move on. In fact, I'm not even going to give you the numbers of the markets after the close because the markets have just kept going up and up and up, and they just keep going up. So we'll do that for the market opening preview for Monday. So my commentary is the yen pairs. I want you all to be very cautious when you're trading the yen pairs. Kuroda, I think, spoke 4 out of 5 days last week at different times of the day, at different places. And, he's talking about easing, and he's talking about taking some action, and he's hemming and hawing around here. And, they haven't done an intervention. I would say it's got to be close to 2 years. So I am very concerned about the yen pairs and being in a yen trade where they're going to do a intervention, whatever it is, and the yen pairs are going to go through the roof. Or they're going to go through the basement, one or the other. But my big concern, of course, is the yen pairs. As we move forward, we must keep a very close eye on that. The other is the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar continues to get stronger. I will show you a U.S. dollar index chart in our charts. And the dollar is the ruler right at the moment. And if you're trading a dollar pair, you want to be buying the dollar. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And of course, you always want to watch for the trend and support and resistance, and we know all that. But keep in the back of your mind that the dollar is very, very strong. The big election, referendum, whatever you want to call it, is over. Scotland's not leaving the EU, and actually, I don't even think the charts actually reacted to it. Actually, they reacted more to the polls going through the week than they did the actual announcement. So I think they pretty much knew that that wasn't going to pass and that they were going to remain within the EU. All right, traders, let's talk about some daily charts. Got a bunch of them, so we're going to go through them pretty quickly. It is the weekend, and we don't want to be hanging out too long. All right, let's start off with here's our euro dollar. Look at this. This just gives you an example of the sell-off that we had. This is a daily chart, folks. Every candle's a day. This is probably close to 3 months of candles, and it just keeps going lower and lower and lower. So would you want to buy the euro? No, 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 no. Don't want to buy the euro. I want to sell the euro. So, we're just going to keep fibbing it, and we're going to wait for the pullbacks, and we're going to just keep selling it. And we're just going to keep selling it over and over again. And until things change, which they will, but it's going to be a long time. It's not going to happen quickly. I think at some point they are going to go into quantitative easing, or what they did in the U.S., and they're going to start printing money, and then this thing's really going to tank. All right, this is the dollar Swiss. I put this in here because this is reverse of the euro dollar. I call them as being correlated, and you can see that the dollar here just took over the Swissie and is just banging on up there. It's at a little bit of a resistance area for the last 3 days, but it's still kicking up to the upside. So, in this pair, we're just going to keep on going. And traders, I have no idea, but in case you didn't catch the last slide, here's the dollar Swissie again for the second time. I guess I must have hit the button twice. All right, here's the pound dollar. Pounds, this is a perfect pullback on a fib. If you would have fibbed this, we talked about this on Thursday, I think it was, and we saw this came back up. It closed its gap as we knew it would eventually. It took a while, but it did close the gap, and we fibbed this, and I think this came out to be like the 50% fib, or the 38.2 fib of the complete swing from the 200 exponential moving average at 1.6625, and this thing just did great, and looks to me like it's heading bearish. This is the dollar yen. Traders, if you don't have the dollar index on your platform, if you go to the dollar yen, it really mimics that. So if you go to dollar yen, you can basically say that's what the dollar index is looking like, and I'll show you that in a minute. But look at this dollar yen. Don't you wish you were in this like 3 months ago? And this thing is just continued to stair step its way up. I mean, this is like the forex trader's like dream right here. Goes up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back. Just stair steps its way up. Keeps going higher and higher. Keeps breaking highs. Gave you a couple times to get in it, but it's very, very strong at the moment. All right, here's the Aussie dollar, and as you can see, the dollar is strong and the Aussie is crazy. Nothing against Aussies, but their currency pair is a little crazy in the past couple of weeks. So the Aussie has been dropping since that 200 exponential moving average, and it's been doing so regularly. So the only thing I want to do on the Aussie dollar, again, is buy the dollar. All right, here's the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand, if you remember, 3 months ago, we were buying the New Zealand like crazy. It was so bullish until they came out with that interest rate increase, and the markets just hated that, which is usually not the case. And since that happened, this has just absolutely dropped like a rock. And as you can see from the daily chart here, it continues to drop. So we're just going to keep looking for sell trades for next week. All right, here's a dollar CAD, the old loonie. As normal, the loonie is all over the place, but as long as it stays above that 200 exponential moving average at 1.0551, we're going to look to buy this. But this is, if I may say, a very ugly chart. There's no trend here. There's no direction. It's just like in a nasty range. It's a big nasty range. There's a lot of pips there, but nothing that I would look like, oh, I got to go buy that, or I got to go take that trade. Nah, I don't think so. All right, let's take a look at the pound Aussie, which I like the pound Aussie, by the way. It's a new pair to our collection, and the pound Aussie trades very nice. And believe it or not, the spread is like 3 pips or 2.8 pips with my broker. And for an exotic pair, that's pretty cool. And this pair, by the way, moves 123 pips a day. So this pair does very well. And that's on a 4-week average. Okay. All right, here's another one of my favorites, is the Euro Aussie. As long as this thing remains below that 200 exponential moving average, folks, I am going to continue to sell it. And, unfortunately, we had support down there. What is that? 3760 area. Just look to sell it. I don't want to buy this, and I'm sure not going to buy it into that 200 exponential moving average at 1.4511. All right, here's a New Zealand yen, which is a fun yen pair. Again, yen is weak, and on this case, the New Zealand strong. It's above the 200 exponential moving average. It's at a great spot right now. Let this thing pull back a little bit, and we'll just continue to buy it all the way up to that. Looks like that 90.00 area, and that looks like resistance to me, and a great psychological area. And we'll just see if we can find ourselves an entry to buy this on a lower time frame, like a 1-hour chart. I like the 1-hour chart myself. or a 30-minute chart. 15-minute charts, I'm sort of veered away from 15-minute charts just because they're too noisy. And here's our good old Euro USD. It is bullish at the moment, and it is above the 200 exponential moving average. We'll see how this reacts this week. This pair has been all over the place. Not quite understanding why, because the pound dollar is down and the euro dollar is up, and there's no good news coming out of the eurozone, right? Like, I don't think they have had one piece of data that has been positive out of the eurozone, so surely not looking to go into that. But as long as it stays above that 200 EMA, I'm going to look to buy the euro dollar. The only thing with the euro dollar is it's really cut down on its pips. It's only moving about 42 pips a day. And as you know, traders, I talk about it all the time. I like trading pairs that are trading 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 pips a day. We want the probability of success on our side. So unless you're a scalper, now that's a whole different thing. But if you're looking to be in trade for 2 to 3 hours, try to get 30 pips, 40 pips, you sure want to be trading currency pairs that have some range in them, that are trading some pips. So I like that 80 mark, a currency pair that's trading 80 pips a day. Love it. Here's our Aussie Yen, great pair to trade. I really enjoyed. This was a nice fall off. I think we talked about this on Wednesday. This was a nice fall off at resistance there. And that was not this Wednesday, last Wednesday. And it was at resistance, and I said, this looks weak to me. We have too many indecision candles there, and eventually it did make it drop. Did a great pullback there on that one day and then continued to drop. Then we had a weekend, and here we are into this week. And it tried to move its way back up. Didn't get very far. But again, it's above the 200, and it's looking pretty good to me. I just be careful because, you look at this on a lower time frame, and you're going to see that, you're trading into resistance. So just be careful there. And as we get down close to the end here, this is the beast, and there she goes. And this is above the 200 exponential moving average. It's very bullish on the daily chart. Oh, that's a pretty big red candle on Friday. So I would be very, very careful of that. Don't take any risks. You don't have to. But as long as it's above the 200, as far as the pound yen goes, I would be looking to buy this. On the lower time frames, that would be my bias. But I would have no complaints on any of these pairs of shorting it if the opportunity was there and all my rules lined up. Okay, I wanted to show you the dollar index, which I do every week on the Friday wrap-up. And this is the dollar index chart. And people, I don't know, what can I say? This is the photogenic moment right here. Just take a look at this. This thing is just moving, and moving. And the dollar keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So the word for the day is buy the dollar. All right, traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends, FXCL Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me on the Friday Wrap-Up. Traders, we do this every Friday after the New York close, and remember, we do the market opening preview every single day before the London Open. Traders, enjoy your 2-day break, and we'll talk to you